Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Donna, and in my last video, which I literally just recorded like 2 minutes ago, I told you all about the cheapest way and the best way, in my opinion, to start your micro locks, and it's the way that I started mine. So yeah, if you want to check that out, it's somewhere here. Y'all, I haven't done this YouTube recording thing in like a while, like properly in a while. Anywho, so in this video I want to talk to you all about why I chose micro locks. If you're familiar with my journey, this is probably like my 5th set of locks. I'm now 11 months micro locked, and I've been loving it so far. I've gone through the changes and I have far too much new growth that I need to see about, and mind you, I do my retightenings myself, which is why I'm kind of dreading it, because I did a little patch hair and I did like a row hair like 2 weeks ago, and this probably more than that, probably like 3-4 weeks ago, and then a few on the side here like 2 weeks ago, and I have not continued since. However, it's reaching to that point so I have to keep separating it, and it's micro locks. So it's getting to that do this now or never return kind of point, and you don't want to keep separating your locks often. But that's another topic for the video I'll be recording right after this one. So be sure to check out this new series that I have going on with my micro locks. Anywho, let's get to the point of this particular video. I want to compare my thick locks versus my traditional locks versus my now micro locks. And I have a few criteria which is written in my prized possession, aka my notes app, my Samsung notes app. If you're sleeping on the Samsung notes app, this definitely isn't sponsored, but you should seriously use a notes app. I have over 400 and something notes on this tablet. Anyway, right, so the criteria that I'll be talking about is retightening, grid maintenance, styling, washing, and maturing. So let's start with the first one, retightening. Now, with all of my sets of locks, with the exception of the first couple of years of, or the first year I should say, of my first set of locks, which were traditional back when I was like 14, I've been doing it myself basically. I have retightened, I have done retwisting, I have done the interlocking method. I've done it all. I've made my own aloe vera gels. I have a video on that actually of how I made it, how I used to make it. And yeah, a lot of things has changed. Well, for one, I do not use that aloe vera gel anymore. I did that with my thick locks because it just helped keep it together, because obviously you have like a greater surface area of new growth and it could unravel really easily. So that came in really handy. However, with micro locks, I don't really need much other than some water, and then I would spray my hair with olive oil or something, or oil mix afterwards, or like oil my scalp afterwards. So yeah, water is just fine, just to make it more malleable, but not too wet either, obviously, because you don't want your hair soaking wet. It'll make it a nightmare to section these tiny micro lock boxes. Grids. I'd say that when it came to retwisting or retightening or re-neatening my hair, my roots, definitely thick locks were easier by far. They took like a little bit of time. I only had a few locks. I don't remember how much, but I have a video on that in case you might be interested to know how much locks I had, or to see what my locks look like back when I had thick locks. I actually did that set of locks with lock extensions. You all, I've done it all with regards to locks. I've dyed locks before, I've bleached my locks before, I've tried color, you know, my hair, I've big chopped, I've cut, I've done a lot, okay? So trust and believe, I could definitely compare these different criteria or areas, if you will. So yeah, this time around, however, well, back then it probably took me like maybe an hour, 2 hours if I'm being really meticulous, which is not really likely because stick locks is not that much to go through anyway. But let's say a couple hours, okay, to retwist my hair. And then with my traditional locks, It would take me probably like 3 hours or 4 hours because I'll just go through with the needle. Or when I even had that particular set, because I've done this a few times, when I had the set where I retwisted my traditional locks, that took probably even less time because there wasn't constant looping to do, just angle, you know. But now, y'all, I have my favorite little tool ever. I'll show you all that in another video because I do plan on retwisting a few of my locks on camera so y'all could see how I retwist my locks now and what tools I recommend and don't recommend, based on my experience, of course. But yeah, retightening now, y'all, the first time I retightened my hair on my own, which was the first time my hair had ever been retightened, because I've been doing this myself since I got the twist installed. It took me a good like 17 to 18 hours. Obviously over a few days, because God forbid I couldn't do that in one sitting. And then the next time it took me like 12 hours, and then the next time it took me like 10 hours. But it still takes a long time. I don't know how many locks I have now, but it's a ridiculous amount, okay? It's a lot. Anywho, next, grid maintenance. This is a quick category to talk about. Definitely not going to take as long as that last one. Obviously with thicker locks or bigger locks, you have more to play with, so you can ensure that you get a nice grid or smooth, sleek grid a little bit more easily, in my opinion. Traditional locks isn't too bad either. However, of course, it's definitely more difficult having well, maintaining your grid, especially if you do it by yourself with micro locks. So I had to actually combine 2 locks together a couple or more months ago. It was devastating, truly. That wasn't even that long ago, actually. That was probably just a month ago when I did the little 2 in the back and I messed up. Yo, don't retwist your hair if you're lazy or tired or you really can't be bothered. Especially if you have micro locks. Don't risk your grid. Just do it when you can. Even if it means you need an hour one day, 2 hours another day, a half an hour next day. By the end of the month, you'll get it done. And that's my motto. But anywho, that's my new motto actually, because I messed that little one thing up and it won't happen again, trust me. Styling. So I haven't done much with styling with this. I think the smaller your locks are, the easier it is to style because you have more sections to choose from. You get some more intricate designs, more detailed designs. You could do more twists or more barrel rolls because you have more strands to work with. So if you're into styling your hair a lot, or you want to try different styles and you want some more variety in your styling, definitely opt for traditional or smaller locks, or maybe even micro locks. Granted, I myself have not styled my hair since. I probably only, when I first got it installed, did like 2 little puffs and then the back down, or like 1 puff and the back. Nothing special at all. So but I can style it now and try more with styles and stuff now that it's smaller compared to when I had thicker locks. I only had like so many rows, you know, so many columns, so I couldn't do too much. So if you're talking about intricacy, then yeah, the smaller the locks the better. If you're talking about easy, quick styling, hassle-free, then the thicker or the bigger the locks, the better, or the easier. Washing. I'd say washing thick locks are more stressful, especially if you're just like the roots are still budding, we have a lot of new growth, because then there's a lot of like, it gets a little messy. You have a lot of marrying of strands, but it does not compare to micro locks. Y'all, the amount of hairs, lock strands I had to separate, like this is a bunch hair that need to separate right now. Like I could feel it at the root because I have like 2 inches or so of new growth. I could feel, or like 1.5 inches, 2 inches. I can feel the amount of separating I'll have to do, and I think that's what's holding me back from finishing this retwist. It's long overdue. But yeah, when it comes to washing, I think they're all kind of similar. Washing will disturb your neatness of your strands and your uniformity and how your hair is, if it's budding, how loose or how frizzy the strands will get. The thicker the locks though, probably the more noticeable. but the smaller and the more mature they get, this wouldn't really be a problem too much regarding the strand itself. However, the roots I think are more impacted the longer you leave your hair out for. The longer it grows out, then the more stress it is after the wash when it's time to separate. And the last section is maturing. I think smaller locks will mature a bit faster, traditional or smaller. Thicker locks kind of take its time. It depends on how you start it. Bigger locks, you know, you might see the grid a little more. It really depends, I guess. But everybody's hair is different. I think climate makes a difference too, because now that I'm in a colder climate, I think my hair has locked up faster in the last like 6 or 7 months than it did in the first like 5-ish months. You know, so I guess that will play a part too. The kind of water, whether it's hard water or soft water, whatever water comes out of it, tap, your shower or whatever. So yeah, that's it for this video. More to come soon. Check out my other videos, and I'll see you all in the next one. Please subscribe if you're interested in hearing more about microlocks and my experience with it thus far, as well as me just comparing random things with this set of locks versus my previous sets of locks. Thank you all so much for watching again.